Pangaea, the supercontinent that existed 335 million years ago, is what polluted our planet. This supercontinent was once the home to millions of living organisms, but thanks to heavy tectonic plate activity, it began to separate around 175 million years ago. This is why it is thought to believe the reason why, if the continents were to be aligned again, they would fit perfectly with one another. Abraham Ortelius, with a bunch of other geologists, noticed that the shapes of the continents used to fit each other. They came up with this theory called continental drift theory, which consisted of the continents being dragged across the ocean bed due to tectonic plate movement. This would explain the reason why Pangaea began to break apart. One of the biggest statements that supports the existence of Pangaea is the finding of some fossils of certain animals. This is because they were thought to live in certain areas of the supercontinent, but when it began to break apart, those animals were left in areas that were not considered as new land. The fossils recovered belonged to animals that lived in cold regions of the supercontinent, but now they were found in areas of really hot temperatures. This is another reason that proves the existence of Pangaea. Next is tectonic plates applying convection. Convection is the cooling and heating of the mantle. The hot mantle rises up to the crust, and when it's cooled, it goes back down. The cycle is repeated, which causes plates to move, and that's where plate boundaries come in. There are three types of boundaries, one of which is convergent boundaries. Convergent boundary is when two plates move towards each other, which causes a collision. When it happens, one plate will be subducted below the other plate, which will be pulled by the mantle to melt it. Next is divergent boundaries. It is when two plates are moving away from each other and it causes the mantle to rise up, which makes a new crust and a ridge for depression between the plates. Finally, we have transform boundaries. It is when two boundaries are sliding past one another and it builds up tension when the sliding motion occurs, and in some cases it can even cause earthquakes.